about today. First of all, thanks for being here. I know that times have been really rough out there. I know that some of you are dealing with job losses, uh, being laid off, kids staying at home. Our whole entire lives have been turned upside down. For me, to be very transparent, it feels the same. I'm trading, 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 looking at charts. My wife's like, hey, could you please, pay attention to us, right? Just being honest, right? So this is my life. Like this is what my passion is about. And so I'm not when I say I don't like to hear news and stuff, I want everyone to understand that uh, I have a big heart. So it's not like I'm not paying attention. I try to do the best I can. But I also want to tell you during these times, this service is allowing you and creating opportunity for you to make money in the market. Okay? That's how I feel about it. And I stand behind it. We want to talk about confidence while we're trading. And the only way that I can build confidence is by looking at my scripts. Okay? And understanding my risk before I take the trade. I had a call over the weekend with one of our members, and like I said, we talked for hours. And to me, the best way to instill some of that confidence is by going through and looking at the scripts and looking at how we trade the setup. Okay? I think everybody will agree with that. Before you take a trade, accept your risk. What does that mean, John? Look at the PMZ if you're taking a PMZ trade. Do the math. If the PMZ is $2 wide and you're trading 100 shares, your risk is 200 bucks. If you are trading options and you're taking an option of a Delta 30 and you have a $2 risk, nothing changes on that PMZ trade. You are risking roughly $60, not to include commissions or theta, on that contract. How many contracts are you taking? You times that by the contracts you're taking. That is one way that we start the confidence builder, by understanding how much we can lose. If you choose to keep those contracts overnight, that risk changes. In this market, because we can gap up or down so strong, you can lose most of it. Now, I say that, but at the same time, we've actually made money when the prices went in the opposite direction of the call position we took. When I say call position, I mean whether it's a put or a call. This morning was a good example. I mean, yes, the SPY gapped up almost 80 points or something like that. It pulled down just a little bit, but our SPY puts were still profitable. People are scared, so the premiums are high. All right. Now let's talk about the different indicators outside of understanding the PMZ and the edges and so forth. We're going to basically drill that down. What are some things that we can use to stay in a trade? We can use the 9 EMA, and we can recognize candle structure. Okay? Can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure real quick before I continue. Okay, cool. So on this trade right here, this is Netflix. Now I'm going to take you back, okay? I'm going to take you back and look at other PMZs and so forth. This is not just about today, folks. Believe me, has nothing to do with today being up. We can use this every single day. So some of the things that keep us in a trade are going to be the 9 EMA. Let's just talk about the 9 EMA really quick. It's a line, exponential moving average. I like the 9. A lot of people use an 8. You choose what you want to use. I like the 9. The reason why I like the 9 is because we went back and back tested with using the strategy that we use, okay? And we found that the 9 really is trendy when using the trendy methodology. Seriously. It just is. It's amazing. How do we trade off of the 9 EMA? Well, again, we want to make sure that when price comes down, it is supported. When stocks are trending, when anything's trending, when futures are trending, when stocks are trending, they tend to build value off of the 9 EMA. Notice here, as we've been speaking, prices move down into the 9 EMA on Netflix. So this is one way we can stay into the trade. Matter of fact, GS is always here to remind us to ride the 9. Why'd you get out? He says, ride the 9, right? So another thing that we can be looking at is candle structure. I want you folks to think about this. If we are concentrating on an inside and up candle to take the trades, we should be on the opposite side. If we're in this Netflix trade, okay, we talked about this earlier. If we're in this Netflix trade, we stay in this trade as long as the 9 is holding, but we start to get concerned. Think about if you wanted to short this. So what are you looking for? You're looking for your first inside candle. Okay, so I want to drill this down just a little bit for you so you can understand. You have to sit here and watch the candles. This is for my folks who are sitting at home, right? And you're watching. All of you should be sitting at home, by the way. I think most of you. And so when you're looking at these candles, you need to understand what you're looking for. So if I'm on the long side, I'm taking the higher high out of here, okay? And let's make sure we're on a 10-minute. Sorry about that. There we go. Exactly. We're looking for an inside and down candle. Okay? Inside and down, folks. 10-minute candle, by the way. 10-minute candle. I used to say 5, but in this volatility, I've been saying for 3 weeks, 10-minute candles. Okay? Inside and up, folks. Let's just start with the morning. Looking at the 10-minute, we have a down, an inside, and up. Now, a lot of folks will ask me, John, do you take the trade over the initial candle? Do you take it over the base? What do you do? I like to take it over the base. Look at the confluence here, okay? Number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 3 candle, not only is it above the PMZ here, but it is above the base of the candle. You're taking the long position, stops go underneath the PMZ, and then what do you do from there? Anybody? What do you guys do from there? Yeah, trim at targets. Andrew, you can add on targets if you get higher highs above the target, and then you can bring your stops up to underneath that target. Okay? But what you want to do is you want to stay in that position as long as we're holding the 9 EMA on the close. On the close. That's the hardest part for most traders to do. Can you wait for the candle to close? Don't get too concerned about it. Understand that it's a process. You've already told yourself that you will lose $2.27. Let's call it 228. Actually, let's call it 230. Okay? We're going to lose $2.30 no matter what. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. You will lose this money. Okay? Stop thinking you're going to win every trade that you take. That's the first thing. Okay? You beat yourself up when you lose a trade. We're going to lose $2.30. You buy 100 shares of this, you're going to lose 230 bucks. Plain and simple. Did you accept the risk before you took the trade? Yes. Okay. Did the body go over? Did the third candle go over the body? Yes, it did. Boom. Execute. What do we do now? We wait for price to stay above the 9 EMA. And as long as price is staying above the 9 EMA, we are now in a focus mode. Your job is not to worry about news or anything like that. Your job is to sit here and look at these candles and say, I'm waiting for the first inside candle. Folks, I want you to look at every one of these candles since we left the PMZ Do you see an inside candle? Anybody? Yes or no? Well, we're looking at Netflix. All right, so far, Armin, okay, you said no. Yeah, Armin's in detention. Jake says no. RJR says no. So no inside candle is correct, folks. And if any of you think that you see one, please let me know so we can correct and make you understand what we're looking for. Anybody wanted to say yes, please say something, please. So we can, I want to make sure everybody understands. What we're looking for is on my candles, they're a little bit different than most people. Okay. Inside close on the body of the candle. That's correct. On the body, not the wick. Okay. What does that mean? That means if we have a candle, the close needs to be somewhere between here and somewhere between here. Okay. If this is a close down here, that's not an inside candle, folks. Believe it or not, that doesn't mean I go short. That means I sit and I wait and I wait and I wait and then I go, hey, there's an inside candle. And then I wait and then guess what? This happens. It keeps me from taking the short right here and getting stopped out very quickly right here. Okay? All right. So what you should be saying right now on a 10-minute candle, we actually see an inside candle. So what does this mean for us? This means that our little alert should go off in our head that, hey, right now we are building an inside candle. Right now. But we still have 8 minutes left. How do I know we still have 8 minutes? It's a 10-minute candle. Down here it says 9:52. This candle will close at 10 o'clock. Okay? So right now, you should be perking up saying, okay, I need to get ready. So what do we do to get ready? Well, we need to quickly say to ourselves, hey, XYZ is up this much. If it were to pull back to the 9, which is my next level to stay in, am I okay with this? Price is currently at 358.51. That means per 100 shares that I have, I could lose $3.50. Okay? That's if you keep the stock as long as you're staying above the 9. Your risk right now is about $3.50 to the downside. Okay? So if you're okay with that, just let it all happen. Okay? Now, if this candle starts to close on the inside, and let's say it's right here, okay, make it a little solid like this, okay? Now what you should be looking for is the opposite of what I just showed you. So if we start to come down underneath the body, it potentially could be a short setup down into the 9, or you can just say, hey, maybe you want to get out of the trade here, maybe you want to get out of the trade here. I just need you to have a plan because typically a reversal comes with an inside and down candle. There are other things to take into consideration here, folks. Are we trending up? Yes. Okay. Let's take this wick, pivot low into the pivot high. Don't forget your fibs, okay, folks? Notice that the 9 EMA, if we can hang out here for a bit, should start to point up towards the 23.6, and then we would be still confident that we're uptrending We know that the extreme bullish channel is the 23.6. We know that when we are trending up, people like to come in and bid, right? They like to bid right around that 23.6. Okay, let's see if it happens. See how I start talking about things and they start happening? It's very strange. I don't even know why that happens, but it does. Okay, so there's the 23.6, and as you can see, it goes bid right away. Okay, now I'm not saying this part's going to happen because to me, we could roll over, but this is where people get scared. So if you're thinking about inside and down, and all of a sudden you took it off, but you did not notice that the 23.6 of the trend was here, and a few more minutes pass by, and it looks like this, would you be mad? You probably would be, right? You'd probably be upset. So you need to understand what the steps are to staying in the trade. This will build confidence for you. You need to understand what your risks are before you take the trade. So knowing your risk, accepting your risk is the first part of any trade, in my opinion. The second part is understanding, how do I stay in this trade? And the reason why it should build confidence is because when you go back and you study this, you will see that when price loses things such as the 23 and the 38, they tend to turn on the day. Okay? So you should be telling yourself, hey man, as long as this is staying bid, as long as we're staying above the 9 EMA, I'm confident to stay in the trade. Now I've talked about this before. Okay? If you're not comfortable with that move all the way down to the 9, you just lost $3, by the way. Okay? You lost $3. And if you weren't comfortable with that, then you need to tighten that 9 EMA up. Instead of 10 minutes, you could do 5 minutes. You could do 2 minutes. And basically what that will do is tighten up that 9 EMA to underneath the current price, and it will give you a tighter risk parameter. Okay? All right. All right, so we got the 9 EMA out of the way. We understand what we're looking for on the candle pattern. And so far, we still have 2 minutes for this to close. Okay. Now, if price were to break down here, we need to also understand where it can go to. Because really, you can sit down and you could trade just one name all day using this methodology. Okay. If it starts to break down, where is price most likely to go bid? Okay. Look right here. We have demand here, remember? Price left there. The PMZ. If it wants to come back, if it runs out, what is happening here, folks, is people are like, hey man, this has been really fun. Wouldn't you think? Oh, by the way, my targets are on point. People are saying, man, the market's like, it's too good to be true. I'm making money on Netflix, but yet, the ES is down. You see what I'm saying? It's starting to kick in. People are like, oh, snap. I made profits. It's time to get out. So people start getting scared. Okay. So when we run out of buyers, price likes to find its way back to a place where it remembers where people wanted to buy. That happens to be the PMZ. Okay. Now during this period, between this point and here, you usually get relief bounce right between around the 50 and 618. Okay. All right. So confidence, knowing your risk, understanding and understanding the value of the 9, understanding what structure should perk you up to be ready, okay, are the first things about the trade. Now, how can we build confidence over and over and over? The only way that we can do this is by what? Taking the trade, right? To take the trade. You have to take the trade. You have to execute it. But John, I'm scared. Why are you scared? You know what you're going to lose. Because I thought trading meant you only win every time you take a trade. False, right? That's right. Armin, so, you're asking right now a good spot to re-add. No, because this is not an inside and up candle, right? We don't even know what formation this is yet. Oh, yes, could be a nice place to add. But yeah, and if this guy closes, see, everything starts over. This is not even an inside candle anymore. This is actually this is not any kind of pattern. So we start over. This is candle 1, and now this is candle 2. None of this matters over here, Armin. None of this. Okay? Now, if you wanted to trade because it took out this body, that's still not the formation. I want you to notice that. This is not an inside candle. Okay? So let me ask you this. If this candle, for some reason, closes here, and you went short here, and then does this, you're going to go, oops, that was an inside and up. Okay? Sometimes it's very boring to wait, folks. But I tell you what, it saves a lot of money and it keeps you from making valuable mistakes. Okay? But if you're just concentrated on one stock, it's going to make this whole process a lot easier for you, especially for you people who are basically in training, who are learning. You don't have to be like me looking at 20 different names. Okay? All right. So let's move over here and get to the next thing. What builds confidence? Taking the trade over and over. What's another way that builds confidence? By taking and repeating the process and looking at the scripts. Guys, the reason why the scripts are amazing is because they're on the screen and they don't move. And they're great for back testing. Would you guys agree with that? If you have these scripts, which I know a bunch of you do, and you're not back testing, what are you doing? You need to go back and you need to say, hey, this is what I've been doing every day. Let me go back and see how that works out. Well, just that technique that I just showed you, if you go back and you count the candles as you do this and you look for the formation, okay, let's go back a few days and let's just go over this. Let's build some confidence. Inside candle, you start to perk up. We're in the PMZ. Candle goes over the body. Trade right here. 346.48. You get a pop to 350. So how do we know, John? Well, I can't tell you unless this was on my focus list. You'd probably sit up here and say, hey, but how would you have known to get out there? Well, you've been in here long enough to know that my targets are like the best targets out there. I'm just going to straight up say that. You should know that. So if we were trading this, I'd be looking up and to the left, and I would find some targets, and we would know where to get out. Okay? And you know that in the library, you can watch the library and watch the targets video, and that will help you out. If you haven't done that, I'm sure you have already. Okay? So inside and up, take the trade into a target. Boom. Okay. Next thing, inside candle. Your radar starts to go off. It's like, oh, I'm not sure about this. Guess what? Trade number 2. Okay. I think about you, Andrew, when I think about this stuff, man. This guy's trading up, down, sideways. He doesn't care. Right? Lower low. Right here. Short. Stops go in. Take the trade. Where do we get out? Well, you could use the PMZ as targets. Bottom, the line on the top. The bottom on the line there. The chaotic candle right there. Okay. You can see it touches right there. I teach you how to do this in the library. Okay. I can't make this stuff up. Let's go ahead and move over. Let's look at the candles. Okay. Down, inside, 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 and up. Stopped out. Down, inside, lower low, down. Makes money. Inside, inside. Okay, let me count these for you so you understand. 1, inside 2, inside 3. Here, you go over the bodies, or you can take it here. Okay, same thing here. Down, inside, lower low, boom. So I want you to look at it like that and say, hey, out of this one trade, man, I have like 6 setups, and 4 of them won. That builds a little bit of confidence, right? It should. It should build a little confidence. Now, you might be thinking, hey, John, I'm not a scalper, though. Right? I don't want to just trade, for a few minutes. Here's my thing, folks. In this volatility, if I can give you a trade that gives you $10 in a matter of seconds, why would anybody complain about that? Just using the process. Okay? All right. Notice over here. Okay? Open up. This is not an inside candle. It does touch the PMZ, though. This is a whole different setup. Looking at trend, price pulls back to the PMZ, goes bid. This is also a trade. Stop, or sorry, entry, stop. About $2.50 here. Did you accept the risk? If you did, the rest is history. You follow this trade up because I gave you targets that day, or you watched the video and you know where to put targets, you're as happy as can be. Inside candle. Alarm goes off. Lower low. Underneath the body. Price goes down. Is it build confidence to let you know when to get out of the trade? The 9 EMA was touched. It closed underneath. If you said, hey man, I don't care about the inside candle, I don't care about the lower low under the body, I'm going to take the 9, it closes under the 9, you're out. But you made money from the PMZ. Okay? All right, folks. If you don't have the scripts, take the PMZ out of the equation. Look for your candle setups. Okay? Look for your candle setups. If you don't have a candle setup, what do? Can anybody tell me? You wait for one, right? You can wait for one, but what's another alternative? Do we have another one? Maybe higher, higher, lower, low. Yeah, walk away. That's another. You could do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but so here's the thing too. You can set an alert. Okay, you can also you can have a strategy just like we use here, where you can say, hey, I know I'm breaking my own rule. This is for the rule breakers. My wife's one of those. If you're a rule breaker, okay, then what? You start a position. You go smaller. Okay? Yeah, go smaller. And if for some reason you get lucky, you can add on to the position. Okay, let's look at Google over here. I gave you the blueprint. It was in the swings. Let's look at how this managed today. By the way, it hit our target to the tick. You can see that. Okay, never made it up to the PMZ. That's okay too. But if you go back and you look at the swings, let's read what I put on here. If I can find it. Google 102. We're at the YE. It's basically it's up or down from here, folks. Let's go to the day. That's what I love about the edges is it gives you a line in the sand. But here's the thing, guys. My line in the sand is not like any other line in the sand. A lot of people have some crappy line in the sands. Every one of these are a line in the sand. Look how price moves up into that YE. It does not build an inside and up. Are you guys following me? Do you understand? It doesn't. Does it build it inside and down? Let's see. Let's go ahead and just mark this really quick. I'm going to put a line right there. Let's do 10 minutes. Now, some of you are aggressive. I know that because you talk to me and you just go short there. You're like, hey, man, the market's down. I'm going short there. Okay? Here's that line in the sand. I want you to notice. It comes up and test it. Okay? Notice here, if I take a 10-minute candle, the first place that I start seeing inside candles, folks, is right here. This is number 1. This is inside. Inside, inside. Sorry. So I can't not count. 3, 4. Inside. Okay? It's inside number 1. Okay? Inside. Lower low. This is by the time, if you're just following the candle blueprint, this is when you go short. Okay? You go short right there. Okay? Right there. 1028 to 1014. You probably didn't think you made that much money, huh? That's a lot of money. It's 14 bucks. Guys, Jake, you and I talked about this. Ghost, you and I talked about this. Andrew, we talk about this. I talk about this with so many people. I can't make this up. So what are we all waiting for? Why is everyone so quiet, right? I want to build confidence in here. How would we add on to this trade? Okay. How would we add on to this? You start the process over. Or on this target here at 1014, if we start to close underneath and we've taken out this low and this low, what I do is if I had to stop here, I'm going to move it down. So I'm going to add into the short here, and then I'm going to take this, let's just say arbitrarily that this is at 1040, right? I'm going to add into my trade, and I'll bring my stop down, say to here at 1023. As long as when you add the numbers up, no matter what, if you get taken out, you're not going to lose money, right? That goes for some of you traders that do stuff like, hey man, I took my first trade at 20 shares and I went short, and then I added 150 shares. I'm like, oh, what happened when you guys stopped out? I lost 300 bucks. Oh, were you up? Right? So that just, remember, just try to do evens if you can, right? If you went short here 20 shares, you can add 20 shares in no matter what. Even if you get a break even, you're building your confidence, okay, by taking the trade. That's all we can do. All right, so in this one, we had to wait quite a bit. Okay, if you came over to a 5-minute, even though I'm saying 10 minutes, some of you guys still do 5 minutes. That's okay. I'm not here to tell you how to trade. What I'm doing is sharing the methodology with you. And you will see here on open, you have it inside and down right here. All right, but on the 5-minute, notice you did come down into your target very quickly. All right, so this happened a lot quicker for you. Okay. Andrew, what are you using? Are you using 5 minutes, man? Or are you using 10, 15? Just kind of curious. 5 and 10. Okay, cool. Nice. Let's go over to DocU. I think somebody was asking me earlier. I think it was Tom. Okay. So here we have, if we're looking for, let's do the 10-minute here. That is a lie. Where's our WE at? There it is. Okay. Tom, are you on here by chance, man? I don't think he is. But remember, I said 10-minute inside and up. I want to show you how you can save money instead of losing money. Okay? We're up already. I mean, I could tell you a lot of people just look for 50 cents on a higher cost option. They're only looking for 50 cents. Like I always tell you about my friend, he trades 30, 40, 50 units, but he's looking for 50 cents, man. That's all he needs to make big money. It just depends on your risk. But notice here, okay? Notice here that the inside and up was here, okay? Boom, make money. Okay, take all the edges, take everything out of the way, and just think about this. Now, when Tom asked me about adding in here, 10-minute inside up is what I said, right? So you can see here, it's just kind of hanging out, holding the 9 to keep you from losing any money. Look here. Okay. Where's our signal? Right here, folks. Okay. This guy right here, it's closed down underneath this guy. What does that mean? That means that this is obsolete. Okay, just showing you examples over and over. This is obsolete. So this is candle number 1. This is inside. This is inside. This is inside. And this is the lower low underneath the body. The short happens here. Targets, again, I showed you how to do targets. They're in the library. We can use chaotic candles. We can use Fibonacci's, everything. Okay. Fibonacci is probably the quickest way, folks. Okay. So if you're taking a short, right, after the signal, look for your fibs. So you're just going to place little white lines right above these fibs. You don't want to be right on it. I tell you this over and over. You don't want to be right here and go, I'm not budging, man. I'm doing the 618. Always come up. Always come up. Okay? I do this as well. Why? Because everybody else and their mother is using fibs too, and they know that. It's got to be a little bit different. Okay? All right, that PMZ is way down there. See? Nothing there. All right, here we go. Just going through this with you. DocU, you can see here. Boom. Inside and up, yes, you could take the trade right here. Where would your target be? The PMZ. Inside and down, where would your target be? Well, wherever you find it. Okay. Same thing here. These are called chaotic candles. I'm not going to buy the top of this. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait for the inside, and then I'm going to wait for the up. Okay? No, I do it on the break, man. I do it on the break. You can wait for the close if you want. Some people wait for the close, man, because they're more patient. My thing is, I've already accepted, Justin, the loss. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm just going to be like, I'm going to take it. Okay? That's me. Because honestly, if I tell you that, right, we have no idea what it's going to be. Let's be honest. If I take it over the base, man, it could end up being, I could end up getting washed out very quickly. But I'm okay with that. Now, all right, I think that I hit that enough. So again, confidence, understand how much you're risking, know what your targets are, take the trade over and over and over using the same process, build probabilities. If you're hitting 7 out of 10, your confidence should be rising. Wouldn't you agree? I really hope so. Guys, you can see it. I put the alerts in there when I take the trade, before I take the trade. You can see the amount of wins, okay? This is all I'm doing. I'm just being patient. I'm confident and I'm okay with my loss before I take the trade. Now, how does that translate into a swing position? Actually, let's go over here to the weekly. Anybody want to guess? Can somebody tell me how does this change? Anything else change about this? About what I just taught you, what I just showed with you, what I just shared with you? Does anything else change? So the answer can be no and yes, but you are right, Andrew. Nothing changes, folks. It's the same thing over and over and over. But the most important part of this that changes is your mindset, your mind, your brain, what's in between both your ears right now. Listen to this. When we take a swing trade, we must respect that the ATR is wider, the 9 is further away, the edges might be further away, the targets are further away. So what does that mean? You need to go into the trade understanding that a stock that you're used to trading on the daily, if it moves back $1, you're like, oh, I'm getting out. If it breaks the 9 on a 10, I'm getting out. That does not apply here. If you're using that intraday process with a swing trade, you're not a swing trader. I'm sorry. It's not going to work for you. Okay? If you don't like swings in your account, if you don't like swings on the options trade that you take, then you're probably not going to be a good swing trader. Everybody wants to be a swing trader. John, man, you got some more swings? Hey, John, my position's down 20%. The best way to become confident with a swing trade, in my opinion, how do we build confidence on this? We go smaller. Go smaller. See this one little guy up here? See this little lonely guy? 320 bucks right there. Okay? By the way, it almost got to 30% for you guys. Okay? That's how you become confident. When you build your confidence, then you can add into the position. There's nothing wrong with that. All right? Nothing wrong with that at all. Think about this for a minute, folks. If you bought 10 of these earlier, okay, it went up about 60 or 70 cents. That's $700 in a matter of minutes. Are you ready to be that confident? Can you put on 10 of these? I know Armin can. Right? I mean, are you there yet? If you're not, it doesn't matter. Just build yourself up. What I'm saying is this is a marathon. This is a process. This is not something that you can build overnight. Okay, you just got to keep taking the trades and building yourself up and realizing that the process works. When the process works in your favor, it works. When the process stops you out and you did not lose all your money, the process works. Do you see how that works? No matter what happens, when I trade, I win. I'm winning when I'm losing. I'm winning when I'm winning. Okay? Now, on a 9 EMA, it's going to be a little bit different. I took the trade today, right? On DocuSign. I'm watching this 9 EMA. Okay? This is why, guess what? I took it at 320. It's a little bit different, right? So I said, hey, let's try to get filled at 320. And what I was saying is I was gauging this 9 EMA here. I was looking for a pullback into the 9 and trying to get filled there. Okay? So we got filled there. That's it. If we can hold between these two arrows by the end of today, that sets me up for one of those MEs. Okay? If we can get that up there. We'll see. So right now, I have a $3 stop. I've already accepted my loss, which is about $100 on one contract. Are you guys following this? You understand, right? Does it help you to feel more confident? Like to understand, like, hey, if I get stopped out, I lose this much money? And if I ride the 9, as long as I'm staying above the 9 on a weekly candle, I'm following the same process. I have to be open to that, okay? Also, if you want, okay, if you don't, now there is a such thing as slippage, folks. There is a such thing as slippage. Give me 1 second here. All right. Let me show you guys something, okay? So here's my position, right? Let's put this right here. Sorry. Here's that one position. Yeah, actually, I'll just do it like this for now. This is that one position, okay? Now all I'm going to do, I'm going to take this off here, and $100, it's about right there. So we want to check this and make sure that it makes sense, okay? So notice I placed the stop here for about $100 loss, and I'm going to put this up here, and let's look at DocuSign just really quick to see where that is, okay? All right. So for right now, basically that's the low of the day, okay? And that's about, it's about down there, $3 or so. 81, 79. So you can see theta could have a factor there, okay? So if I get stopped out, I'll lose $100 here. Alrighty. And that's the way I can use. Now there is slippage. Understand if there's a spread like there is here. Let me see if I can explain this well. You can see that there's a spread. There's here and here. If for some reason it starts dropping really quick, what will happen is, you know, all of a sudden I got people down here that are bidding, and, you know, the ask is right here. So it could skip me, and all of a sudden the 100 loss turns into, you know, 185. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, so we talked about confidence. I hope that that helps you. The biggest thing here is maybe you don't have the scripts, and I do, and I can go back and back test this stuff over and over, okay? And it helps me to become confident. So the next thing that would build your confidence is coming in every morning, looking at the trades, looking at my targets, looking at the entries, looking at the PMZ, marking them on your chart, taking the time to understand them, and then seeing if they work out. And if you go, man, every time this guy is taking a trade out of this, it's working for a couple bucks. Or every time he gets stopped out, it's only taking him out for this much money. I feel confident. That's what it's all about. I have a process. That was the biggest thing that was missing from my trading for so long. I didn't have a process. I didn't know what that looked like. Now I'm really confident to say I do, and it works. And I show you this every single day. Okay? So anyways, I'm going to jump off here, and I'm going to keep my screen going because I'm not done trading maybe, but I am going to take a break and go drink some tequila. I'm just kidding. I'm just going to have some water because my mouth is dry, and I'll be back here to see if we get any setups for the morning. We might. Who knows, right? And I still haven't got picked up for my 380 by 420. Ah, I want it bad. So the 420s, it says the market's 89 cents and $1.22. Man, I might get picked up soon. We'll see. All right. Oh, let's go back to Netflix just really quick, and then I'll be off. Let's just see what happened. I think we're on a 10-minute. So check that out. What do you guys see here? Inside, low. It was a short. Where's the short go to? Look at this. Maybe the PMZ here in a few minutes. We'll see. But you see how that worked? If you just stayed patient, you got out on the inside and down. You could have went short on the inside and down. Both of them creating and giving you opportunity to make money. This is a beautiful room to be in, folks. It is. I'm patient. I hope that you guys remain patient. I hope you see the value. If there's anything I can do for you, please reach out. And thanks for listening.